Do you think people abuse the process of dating?
I think so. It all has to do with the mindset.
Okay. I think the way the older people uh, experience their form of relationship is different from how we are seeing it.
Yes, that's very true. Like even some of us who are a little older, that the way that we see relationship go is different from what is going on now too.
Okay. How are we conceptualizing the whole idea of dating, considering that we are bringing the dating up? But I never knew of dating up until I got to the US.
Okay, I'm very old school, so
Okay.
I'm not. I always say I always say that God knows me. He will not put my man on there because He knows I'm not going to. But it's
Okay.
worked for some people.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's not worked for me, or I have not tried it, because I can't even say it didn't work for me because I don't try it.
Yeah.
I've heard of stories where people met.
Okay.
So I think some people are using it correctly,
Okay.
but it's also dangerous
Yeah.
because there are very weird people out there.
Yeah.
And so we've heard of people catfishing other
Yeah.
people, but that does not mean that it's not good if it is used correctly.
Okay.
Some relationships have developed that have ended in marriage, and the couple are doing well. So.
Yeah. I just want to know. I mean, how will if a man comes, what will be the kind of your ideal package that would make you feel like that is the man, like this man is really in for serious business?
Ladies have notions of what they want to see in a man. Now, when I was younger, I had my own. Like somebody would say, he has to be tall, dark, and handsome, and all that.
Six pack.
Six pack, whatever. But as I get older, I see that those things are not very important. Okay.
Hello, viewers. Welcome back to DJ's podcast. Many of you have wondered why your relationship is not working out. Some of you have ended up questioning yourself. Is it me or is it the other partner? Today, we are having a real conversation about real love or infatuation. We are also describing whether that's a true love or you are in a wrong relationship. If you are here with me, stick with me as we discuss some of these issues. We'll come back. Viewers, welcome back. Today with me, I have a very important guest. You know, I have been promising you of good content. And so I have a very important and special guest that I can call my sister and an elder sister of mine. She is no other than, hey, are you waiting for me to introduce her? I think I will allow her to introduce herself. Auntie Elsie, my audience are listening to you. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name is Elsie Temaboahini. Um, if the accent would say anything, originally from Ghana, West Africa.
Okay.
I've been in the United States close to 20 years now.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm a teacher at a public school here.
Okay. That's incredible. I think my viewers are very, very happy to have you on the show. And today, as I promised you, viewers, leave every single comment you have in the comment section. But I think I can promise you that we are going to have a very good conversation. Stick with me. Once we come back, we'll dive into some of the questions. Auntie Elsie,
Yes.
are you ready?
I'm as ready as I can be.
Okay.
First of all, I want to say thank you for inviting me onto your show. I hope that I'll have something to share with everyone today.
Yes, I hope so. Okay. First of all, I would like to ask you, relationship or dating, what's your perspective like?
So, relationship is different from dating. So, if you're talking about relationship,
Yeah.
um, based on the podcast, I know you're talking about relationship between a man and a woman.
Yeah.
Okay. My perspective is I know that there are a lot of Christians who say that you shouldn't date.
Okay.
But I feel like, how are you going to know anybody if you don't build up some kind of relationship with them? Like it has to grow.
Yeah.
And so I think it's a good thing
Yeah.
because the foundation of the church is the family.
Okay.
And the family cannot start without a relationship between a man and a woman.
Yeah.
And so to me, it's a good thing.
Okay.
It's just how we go about it.
How is dating in your perspective? How can it be a bad thing? I mean, you mentioned that it's some people think you don't have to date, but do you think people abuse the process of dating?
I think so. It all has to do with the mindset.
Okay.
So the people who are in the relationship, what is their mindset? If
Okay.
if the mindset of the parties involved is just be with someone and um,
Mess around.
mess around with
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
then that's not it. Like if they are in it for a purpose, like
Okay.
the purpose uh, that is biblical,
Yeah.
then it would be wonderful.
Yeah.
But if your perspective is, oh, let's just have fun,
Yeah.
then that's why some people, some elders, think that it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
Because
I think.
I don't think our families, our parents had to
Mhm.
go through dating.
Oh, what did they do?
If I remember correctly,
Mm.
my mom and dad, they didn't really go out like
Mm.
we say it now.
Yeah.
My mom's elder sister was the one who knew my dad
Yeah.
and introduced my mom to. And so
Between her.
he was looking for a wife.
Okay.
So it wasn't like, oh, let's try and see. He was
Okay.
looking for a wife, and
Okay.
then when my auntie saw him and
Um,
she liked him,
okay.
so she said, "Oh, I have a sister who's not married yet." So that's how it started. So they didn't really go out
Okay.
like we say it.
But do you think they should have, or it didn't make any difference?
I think they had their own way of getting to know each other.
Okay.
It wasn't like, oh, let's go here, watch a movie,
Okay.
or let's go here. They didn't even have those things then.
Okay.
And I don't remember my parents ever telling me that, oh, they didn't go to the same church. My
Okay.
mom was a Methodist. My
Mm.
dad was a Presbyterian.
Presbyterian.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I think once the family got to know each other, and then
Yeah.
it went from there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think the way the older people uh experience their form of relationship is different from how we are seeing it.
Yes, that's very true. Like even some of us who are a little older, that
Yeah.
the way that we see relationship go
Yeah.
is different from what is going on now too.
Okay.
Um, People, and I don't want to give up my age,
Yeah. No, no,
but
it's
people
fine.
who are a little older than this generation,
Okay.
they didn't experience the dating website,
Yeah.
long distance
Yeah.
dating,
Yeah.
where you could still communicate with.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. We used to write letters.
Oh, I think I did it before.
We used to write letters.
Yeah.
So somebody would write a letter to you. If you're interested, you write a letter back, and this was before cell phones became so
Yeah.
rampant.
Yeah.
We didn't have cell phones, so I used to write airmail letters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you my story. Back in Prempeh College, where I went to my high school, I we could write. I mean, it's a boys' school, so our alliance were the Yasantua girls, and we write same letters. I mean, so I kind of like relate to what you were saying.
Yeah, St. Monica's was Addis Adel, so
Oh, Saint
St.
Monica's
Monica Munche and Addis Adel.
and this other,
Yeah.
but that was a long distance relationship. How were you guys linking up?
Okay, so those who were in those relations, they had their way of writing letters and
Okay.
so on.
Yeah.
And then we had cell phone. We didn't have cell phones, but we did have like booths, if
Good.
you remember.
Oh,
So
that
yeah, so
little thing.
people will go
Yeah.
and call others, but
Yeah.
then because they didn't have cell phones,
Yeah.
then you have to let the person know that, oh, I'm going to call you this time, so you all go meet at your booths and then talk. So things have changed.
And so for my viewers that are white and the other races, okay, I know some of you cannot relate. I mean, the story of how Ghana, we used to write letters in those days, and I think for that one, it
I
cuts
think I
across.
think it cut
It
across.
cuts across, but the boot thing probably is different.
They probably, of course, cell phones developed in the developing in the much advanced worlds than it did in our place. So
Okay.
yeah, so they had their own, because I remember the UK used to have their boots too.
In the comment section, I want you to tell me how, if your parents have told you stories like that, kindly leave it in the comment section and tell us what the love story was like. Okay, and I know you mentioned something like um dating apps and long distance relationship. How are we conceptualizing the whole idea of dating, considering that we are bringing the dating app? But I never knew of dating app until I got to the US.
Okay, I'm very old school, so
Okay.
I'm not. I always say I always say that God knows me. He will
Yeah.
not put my man on there because He knows I'm not going to. But it's
Okay.
worked for some people.
Yeah.
So the fact that it's not worked for me, or I have not tried it, because I can't even say it didn't work for me because
Okay.
I don't try it.
Yeah.
I've heard of stories where people met.
Okay.
So I think some people are using it correctly,
Okay.
but it's also dangerous
Yeah.
because there are very weird people out there.
Yeah.
And so we've heard of people catfishing other
Yeah.
people, but that does not mean that it's not good if it is used correctly.
Okay.
Some relationships have developed that have ended in marriage, and the couple are doing well. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's the way the world is going now. Everything is going to get digitized.
Okay.
So it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Um, But I also think that people should be cautious, those
Yeah.
who go on there, because we don't know the people behind the glamour that's there.
Those are some of the things I've been discussing on the podcast. And so, those of you guys who want to listen to the idea of dating apps, I think I'm going to leave it, maybe the link somewhere in the description, or probably somewhere at the top. You can check it out, and you're going to learn a few more things that will be very beneficial to you. We are still on the idea of perspective on dating. I want to know, how would you, or what is your ideal first impression for a man who wants to seek you out?
Okay. I think if a guy is serious, you would know it. Like,
Okay.
ladies have natural tentacles.
Okay.
So if a guy approaches you and you know and he's serious, there are certain things that he would do that would show that he's serious.
Okay.
A guy who is serious will be consistent.
Okay.
And then you would also know by their utterances. You would know what they want, if they want to come play or they mean business.
I read an article yesterday, and they
Hmm.
were saying the dynamics is changing.
Yeah.
Now men don't want to chase. If they pursue you for a few times and you're playing hard to get, just because you want to be sure that it's a serious, the man is serious, they won't come. Now men of these days won't necessarily come because they feel like there's a whole drama around it. And so I just want to know, I mean, how will, if a man comes, what will be the kind of your ideal package that would make you feel like that is the man, like this man is really in for serious business?
It's very interesting that you asked me that, because somebody recently asked me the same thing.
Okay.
So, ladies have notions of what they want to see in a man.
Okay.
Now, when I was younger, I had my own, like somebody would say he has to be tall, dark, and handsome, and all that.
Six pack.
Six pack, whatever.
Yeah.
But as I get older, I see that those things are not very important.
Yeah.
Okay. But still, we have our ideal. Even if we cannot, we won't say it. Like,
Okay.
as Christian ladies, we would say the first thing we want to see is that this person is a God fearing.
Yeah.
And then another thing that I look for is how that person treats the women in his life.
Okay.
Like, if his mother is still with him,
Okay.
how does he treat his mother?
Okay.
What are some of the things that he says about his mother?
Oh.
If he has sisters, how does he treat them? Because if you have a man who treats women with respect, then you know that he's going to treat you with respect.
Oh.
If you have a man who talks about his mom anyhow, talks about his sisters anyhow, then you know that, because sometimes some women are in denial. They think, oh, he loves me, so he won't do that to me. But God has a way of showing us, like revealing the people that we come into contact with. He reveals them to us in his own way. We just have to be very vigilant.
We'll come back to that. Viewers, I know you are enjoying the conversation, and I mean, if it's going as you expect it, know that, as I promised you, I'm giving you what you have to get because you deserve it. Tell us what you like. We'll come back right after this break.